SafeMusicList.com, royalty-free music for marketing and promotional videos. SafeMusicList.com, royalty-free music for marketing and promotional videos.
Whoa! So, ewédú, gbẹ̀gìrì, àmàlà. Ohun gbóná fẹ́lifẹ́li nìbàdàn, ìlú rédíò Alóore.
You are listening to Alore Radio, Ibadan, Nigeria.
SafeMusicList.com, royalty-free music for marketing and promotional videos.
Yeah, good morning. You're welcome to another edition of your favorite program, Newspaper Review, at GSN Studio from the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism. Yes, we've welcomed you. I'll continue to welcome you because this is your darling station, the incomparable online radio. I am Temitope Ojoawo. This morning we have Nigerian Tribune and the Nation newspaper. How we meet this morning?
My name is Omotosho Olukemi. Good morning. You're welcome.
And let me get you informed that you can also reach us at www.facebook.com/Alore Radio, also www.youtube.com/Alore Radio, www.aloreradio.com. We're also on mobile apps available on Android Play Store, Alore Radio. We start with the headline, then we'll go into the details of today's newspaper. Kemi, what do you have at the front page of the Nation?
I have the Nation with me. And the first story I'm going to read, it says, victims' relatives besiege collapsed building, Lagos building site.
Justice Odiliza's inversion, impunity taking too far, Supreme Court.
And I have with me the same story that Temitope read. Police arrest suspects in siege to Odili's home.
INEC ready for Anambra appeal, Yakubu.
Fear of another others attack grip Ibarapa.
NNP say alleged fear over fuel scarcity.
Manhunt begins for abductors of 6 at Uni Abuja.
At the front page of Nigerian Tribune, we have how 14,423 Boko Haram members surrendered federal government.
And on Anambra 2021, I have candidates beg IBOC to sheath swords. Police announce 48 hours lockdown and can other groups pray for peaceful polls.
Also, at the Plateau State, we have the new Plateau Assembly Speaker threatening to arrest impeached Speaker.
And President Muhammadu Buhari seeks release of $100 billion climate change fund.
How government attacked Akintoye residents.
$8.99 billion investment inflow tracked in 3 quarters.
Obi Kubana leaves EFCC custody.
And I have another one that says 6 travelers died in Niger bus crash.
And we shall be feeding you with a special report how poor blood donation culture endangers lives of pregnant women and other patients in the hospitals.
And on page 5 of the Nation newspaper, I have money laundering. EFCC holds on to Cubana.
My father, abducted almost naked, came down from ceiling following intensity of gunshot, victim's son.
And with this, we have a short break to come back for the details of the news headlines.
Stay in place.
àṣà ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé gbẹ́yẹlé àṣà ò gbọ́dọ̀.
ẹ ǹlẹ́ bàbá àdìo ẹ wo aṣọ ọ̀gbẹ́yẹlé nìkan mọ́ nísìn ẹlẹ́yẹlé gan-an làṣà ń gbé ọ̀rọ̀ ojú òní ìmọ̀ wa rí yín fún. ṣé ẹ rí i nígbà tí ìjọba kọ̀ tí ó sọ̀rọ̀ láwọn ọ̀dọ́ ti ṣaṣara bàgbó pé kí gbogbo àwọn oníṣẹ́ bí ó kù lágbègbè wa ni wọ́n bá níjọba sọ pé kámórí wá ká fọrùn lẹ̀.
tá ń sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àdìo ìwọ náà sì tún pẹ̀lú ọ̀bọ jáwúra mi bí wọ́n mọ̀ pé nǹkan tíjọba àpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ń sọ ni pé a lè fi nǹkan tó kù díẹ̀ káàtó ṣàtúnṣe nǹkan tí ò dáa ó dáa àdìo láti gbẹ̀ tí wàá déhùn ṣé eégún kan ti wá yọrẹ sí babaláwo yín bí.
rárá o bàbá.
ní nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé kẹ́yìn ọ̀dọ́ tó fọn níjọba ti yàwó tùlù fún ẹ̀ṣọ́ aláàbò àmọ̀tẹ́kùn pé kí wọ́n fi tọ̀gbẹ́ tààlà láti lé gbogbo àwọn ẹni ibi jáde ní kọ̀lọ̀fín wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣètò ọlọ́pàá scrodom ibi fáàbò gbogbo wa nípìnlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ náà ni ṣèjọba tó wá ṣèyún ní òwà rẹ̀ nìràn lẹ́rù ni ó tó mọ́ ọkọ̀ fẹ́ bí.
ọ̀rọ̀ yín yé mi bàbá àmọ́ ọ̀tọ̀ ní táwọn èèyàn mọ̀ ń wíìkì.
àwọn ará abí ti tòṣèlú bọ̀ ọ́nù nígbà àtàkùté wọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta òré ó rí wọn lórí ẹ̀rọ ayélujára táwọn ti ròyìn òfegè ní ibi láti sọ̀jọba gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ní súná bú ni.
bàbá kí là á wàá ṣe ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pọ́rọ̀ ọ̀sọ́kùsọ bíi náà nú ẹ̀rùn ni.
ẹ̀yin ọ̀dọ́ tẹ́ ẹ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ dénú náà ní kẹ́ ẹ sọ fún gbogbo òlù pé orí ìpinnu àṣà ò gbọ́dọ̀ wọlé gbẹ́yẹlé níjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ dúró lé.
ó ti yé mi bàbá mo sì ń lọ rèé fọn rere rẹ̀ náà nu. iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
You're welcome back to your darling program, Newspaper Review, on Alore Radio, transmitting from the GSM studio at the Ministry of Information, Culture and Tourism, Secretariat, Agodi, Ibadan. You can also log on to www.facebook.com/Alore Radio or www.youtube.com/Alore Radio. We also have www.aloreradio.com or your mobile app on Android Play Store, Alore Radio. Thanks for listening.
And with that, my leading story can be found on the page 2 of Nigerian Tribune. Justice Odele's housing version, impunity taken too far. Supreme Court. The Supreme Court on Tuesday in Abuja broke a silence on the alleged unlawful invasion of Justice Mary Odele residence by unknown security operatives, describing it as an impunity taken too far. The Apex Court warned that the judiciary should not be misconstrued by any individual or institution of government as a weapon point among the three arms of government. In its first reaction to the incident, the Supreme Court, in a statement by its Director of Press and Information, Dr. Festus Akonde, said the attack was uncivilized and a shameful show of primitive force on innocent judicial officer. The statement read in part, and I quote, "We are alarmed with the news of the unwarranted and despicable raid on the official residence of one of the senior justices in the Supreme Court, Justice Mary Peter Odele, on Friday, 29th October 2021 in a gospel manner." End of quote. Justice Odele house invasion, impunity taken too far. Supreme Court.
And the front page of the Nation newspaper, I have victims' relatives besiege collapsed Lagos building site. Tears flow yesterday at the site of the collapsed 21-story building in Ikoyi, Lagos. Family members of victims besieged the place, some carrying photographs of their people believed to be trapped inside the rubble. Rescue workers had a hectic time keeping them away so they could do their work. As of 9 p.m. yesterday, more than 24 hours after the incident, 21 bodies had been pulled out. 9 people were rescued alive, as hope dimmed for the unspecified numbers of people still trapped under the heap of debris. The developer of the building is believed to be inside the building at the time it collapsed. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu took drastic measures yesterday by suspending the head of the agency in charge of supervision of buildings under construction. He also named a panel to probe the incident with a promise to make the probe transparent. And All Progressive Congress APC national leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu gave his support to the plan by the governor to investigate the collapse of the building. For the rest of that story, turn to the front page of the Nation newspaper and page 4 of the Nation newspaper.
Still on page 2 of Nigerian Tribune. Anambra Governor Pugh, it is time to make peace with IPOB, Okupe, tell federal government. Ahead of Saturday's governorship election in Anambra State, former special assistant to ex-president Goodluck Jonathan on public affairs, Dr. Doyin Okupe, on Tuesday advised the federal government to dialogue with the independent people of Biafra IPOB with a view to achieve peace and conducive environment for the exercise. He said this had become imperative in order to avoid voters' apathy, which may occur due to fear over the threat of IPOB member. In a statement forwarded to a newspaper, Okupe said the Anambra State election is no doubt a security nightmare and a major cause for concern for many Nigerians. Whether we like it or not, the IPOB has become an established army of resistance for the self-determination group in the southeast. Anambra Governor Pugh, it is time to make peace with IPOB, Okupe itself federal government. Page 2 of Nigerian Tribune.
And still on the front page of the Nations, I have police arrest suspects in siege to Odele's home. Some operatives have laid siege to Abuja residents of Supreme Court Justice Mary Odele have been arrested Inspector General Alkali Usman announced yesterday in Lagos. The police boss neither gave the number of those arrested nor their organization. He said that the circumstances surrounding the incidents were being investigated. And on page 28, which is the continuation of that story, it says, in its first comments on the incident, Chief Justice of Nigeria, CJN Ibrahim Muhammad, warned that the judiciary under his watch would no longer tolerate any form of indignity from any other arms of government. Also yesterday, the body of Senior Advocates of Nigeria, BOSAN, cautioned that the siege to Supreme Court Justice Home must not be politicized, as it is a matter of huge political and constitutional importance, quote and end of quote. Justice Odili's residence was on Friday night under a siege by armed security operatives who claimed their mission was to execute a chief magistrate's court search warrant. For the rest of that story, turn to the front page and the page 28 of the Nation newspaper.
And on page 6 of Nigerian Tribune of today's edition, NNPC warns against panic buying of petroleum products. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, has warned against panic buying of petroleum products across the country, particularly the petroleum motor spirits, PMS. This is coming as a private depots increase the price of petroleum motor spirits petrol to 157 naira per litre from 148 naira per litre in different parts of the nation. While confirming the development, the National President of Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, Petroran, Dr. Prince Billy Harry, who spoke to the Nigerian Tribune Fair Telephone, stated that the increase was effected over 2 weeks ago. He said the deportsmen, however, were not able to give clear reason for the increase. He said, indeed, the depots, private depots especially, increased for price by a couple of naira. It has been like that since the last 2 weeks. He continued, we have been in touch with the depot management and we're here to have a clearly defined reason for the hike, but it has not been intolerable. That is why you still say our members stay buying products, but the reality that is going to face us shortly is that the peer is already certain and petroleum pricing has always been impacted by subsidy that we know is not helping this country in any way, but it will still be something we will not see anymore. End of quote. NNPC warns against panic buying of petroleum products. Page 6 of Nigerian Tribune.
And on page 25 of the Nation newspaper, I have fear of another attack grip Ibarapa community. A community leader in the Ibarapa land, Mr. Adeagbo Taiwo, has reported a threat of another imminent attack by the criminal others on Takpa and Konko communities in Ibarapa North local government of Oyo State. He reported the threat in a letter to the Commissioner of Police, Mrs. Ngozi Onodeko. Criminal others had attacked Igogon, a border community in Ibarapa, on June 5, during which 15 people, including a child and a woman, were killed. The attack was a reprisal to the eviction of the Seriki Fulani Soliu Abdulkarim from the community on January 7th. Adeagbo is an Igongo indigene. In the report, Adeagbo said others from Ogun State, with the support of one Memudu, we are making moves to attack the community. For the rest of that story, turn to page 25 of the Nation newspaper.
And also on page 25 of the Tribune newspaper for today, INEC ready for Anambra Pro. Yakubu. The chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmood Yakub, has reaffirmed the readiness of the Commission for smooth conduct of the Anambra State governorship election holding on Saturday. Yakubu stated this at the INEC headquarters in Accra on Tuesday while addressing staff of the Commission. Nigerian Tribune gathered that Yakubu was in Accra on its 2-day visit to assess the preparedness of the state office of the commission and to meet with the various stakeholders on the forthcoming election. He also had an interactive session with the leadership of the police, Department of the State Service, DSS, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) and Immigration. Yakubu said he will also meet with Council of Traditional Rulers, election observers, and other relevant stakeholders in the state. Speaking on behalf of the others, Commissioner of Police Mr. Echeng assured the INEC chairman of the readiness to hold the election. Get the rest of the story on page 25 of Nigerian Tribune. INEC ready for Anambra Pro. Yakubu.
And on page 25, still on page 25 of the Nation newspaper, I have Anambra 2021 polls. Candidate begs IBOP to shield sword. Police announces 48 hours lockdown and can other Christian groups pray for peaceful poll. Candidates in the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State yesterday urged the indigenous people of Biafra IBOP not to disrupt the polls. The standard bearers advised the group to listen to the pleas of the Southeast Council of Traditional Rulers and representatives of Igbo bishops and archbishops to shield their sword. In a statement in Akwa, the state capital, the candidates also urged their supporters to refrain from violent acts capable of affecting the exercise. The Anambra State Police Commissioner Echeng has said there will be a 24-hour lockdown of the state ahead of the November 6th governorship election. He said the lockdown, which takes effect from Thursday night, is meant to prevent troublemakers from entering the state and from anywhere else. The Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) and Universal Prayer Fellowship (UPF) has begun intercessory prayers for the success of the Anambra State governorship election. CAN, led by Apostle Chukwuemeka Ezekiel, and the UPF, led an evangelist from Aguta local government area, organized the prayers at the Ekwolobia Township Stadium, all for the gubernatorial election. Turn to page 25 for more details concerning Anambra 2021 gubernatorial election.
Page 26 of Nigerian Tribune. Plateau Assembly crisis. New speaker threatens to arrest predecessor, suspend 5 lawmakers. The new speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Yakubu Soda, has threatened to arrest the impeached speaker, Nuhu Abokayuba, if he continued to parade himself as the speaker of the House. He also suspended 5 other lawmakers loyal to Ayuba. Speaking with announcement in Plateau State on Tuesday, November 2nd, Soda expressed his displeasure over what transpired in the House on Monday and called on the security agent to arrest the former speaker for parading a fake maze. He pointed out that the House, under his leadership, has set up 2 committees to investigate the former speaker's financial records. He said, and I quote, the former speaker and 10 of his loyalists has confirmed an illegal sitting in an event hall in Zawan, where they announced a sham and baseless suspension of authentic leaders and members of the House, and also broke into the hollow chambers of the House to further denigrate it. This House must take firm measure to foster such occurrences from happening again. This House ever suspended the 6 members with effect from November 1st, 2021 to a further notice, so that then call on the security agencies to take charge of the House and ensure that the suspended members are not allowed access while the suspension persists. End of quote. Get the rest of the story on page 26 of Nigerian Tribune. Plateau Assembly crisis. No speaker threatening to arrest the predecessor's 5 lawmakers.
And on page 5 of the Nation newspaper, it says, bandits attacks Uni Abuja, abduct 4 lecturers' kids. Bandits in the early hours of yesterday invaded the University of Abuja staff quarters and abducted 4 lecturers and some of their children. The gunmen were said to have stormed the staff quarters in Giri and held lecturers hostage. The development created panic in the university community, which is about 20 minutes drive to Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. An alert message to members of the academic staff union of the university, ASU, read in part, and I quote, "Good morning, comrades. Professor Obanasa and his son, Professor Obosolo, son and daughters, Mal Sambo Mohammed and Dr. Tobin were kidnapped in Giri University staff quarters. Please, we need your prayers for their safe return. End of quote. On its Facebook page, the university says suspected bandits attacked the staff quarters of the university in the early hours of today. Our safety officers, in conjunction with the security personnel, mobilized to secure the quarters. We have reported that 4 of our staff and their children were nevertheless abducted by the evil men. End of quote. For more of that story, turn to page 5 of the Nation newspaper. Bandits attack Uni Abuja, abduct 4 lecturers' kids.
On page 28 of Nigerian Tribune, government attack Banji Akintoye's house in Ekiti. The country home of leader of the umbrella body of Yoruba self-determination groups, Ilanomo Odua, Professor Banji Akintoye in Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti state capital, was allegedly attacked by government last weekend. Akintoye, a renowned historian who hails from Ado-Ekiti, represented the old Ondo state in the Senate from 1979 to 1983. According to a statement by the communication secretary of Ilanomo Odua, Maxwell Adeleye, the gunmen who came to the premises at about 6 a.m. on Saturday fired gunshots into the building but did not gain entrance. The statement said, and I quote, "The security guard in the house informed me that the gunmen fired shots into the building at about 6:10 a.m. but did not enter the house, though Baba Akintoye was not around." It further stated that it was after the gunmen left that the guard who had earlier taken cover saw the bullets in the house and damaged ceiling. The incident, it said, had been reported at the police area command in the state capital. Adeleye, while condemning the invasion of the house, said the group will hold the federal government responsible if anything untoward happens to the Akintoyes or its relation. Adeleye, in a statement on Tuesday, said bullets suspected to be from AK-47 rifles were recovered after they dropped from the ceiling onto the floor. Get the rest of the story on page 28 of Nigerian Tribune. Government attack Banji Akintoye's house in Ekiti.
I have the same story on page 25 of the Nation newspaper. It says, police to probe alleged attack on Akintoye's home. The police in Ekiti State are to probe the alleged attack of the Ado-Ekiti State home of the leader of Ilanomo Odua, Professor Banji Akintoye. He alleged that the incident occurred a few months after his son's residence in Agbo, Delta State, was invaded by gunmen with properties worth millions of naira destroyed. The Nation gathered that the assailants allegedly stormed the house located behind NO Supermarket, Simisoluwa, in Ado-Ekiti area by 6:27 a.m. on Saturday. An eyewitness who craved anonymity said the 6 masked gunmen invaded the whole house around 6:27 a.m. and went to a shooting spree for about 20 minutes. For the rest of that story, turn to page 25 of the Nation newspaper.
On page 29 of Nigerian Tribune, how 14,423 Boko Haram surrendered. Federal government. The federal government has revealed how a total of 14,423 Boko Haram members have surrendered, disclosing that the terminal date for the sect is September 15, 2021. Executive Director, Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, Mr. Aman Tuko, has also revealed that banditry and kidnapping for ransom will come to an end between March and April 2022. Tuko spoke on Tuesday at a 3-day capacity building workshop on an anti-money laundering and combating the financial of terrorism organized by the Ministry of Interior in collaboration with the NFIU for paramilitary agencies under the ministries. The NFIU boss noted that the anti-terrorism and anti-money laundering fight is an inter-agency responsibility, adding that all the 45 agencies ranging from the Economy and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Offences Commission, ICPC, Nigeria Immigration Service, NIS, among others, have roles to play. Our 14,423 Boko Haram surrendered. Federal government. Get the rest of the gist on page 29 of today's edition of Nigerian Tribune.
And on the sports page of the Nation, that is page 31, it says, CAF fixed time for Liberia versus Nigeria. Confederation of African Football, CAF, have confirmed that the match day 5 of the 2022 World Cup qualifier between Nigerian Super Eagles and the Lone Star of Liberia on November 13th will kick off by 4 p.m. at the Grand Stade de Tandre, Morocco, following CAF's decision to maintain the ban on the Samuel Kayode Sports Stadium, as the facility still did not fully meet the state CAF stadium minimum requirement. The Kingdom of Morocco had granted Liberia the use of one of its stadiums. For the rest of that story, turn to page 31 of the Nation newspaper. CAF fixed time for Liberia versus Nigeria.
And on sport page of Nigerian Tribune, page 31, let me quickly add that Iwobi extend goal record against the Wolves, and also Magudu Oko join Falcons technical crew. And on that note, we shall be drawing curtain for today's edition of your favorite program, Newspaper Review. You can reach us on the online on the radio studio line, which is 09039533731. Once again, 09039853731. From me, I say bye.
My name is Omotosho Olukemi. You can link on to www.facebook.com/aloriradio or www.youtube.com/aloriradio, www.aloriradio.com, and on mobile app on Android Play Store, Alore Radio. Thanks for listening and have a wonderful day.
SafeMusicList.com, royalty-free music for marketing and promotional